Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Gay Charlie.
And I'm Adam Katz, and we are here at Speedway High School for this first game of the state tournament. Park Tudor will be facing Shortridge High School, the Blue Devils, who are coming in at 7-15, similar to Park Tudor's record, who are also 7-15. Shortridge ranks last in the sectional, 0-4 against all sectional teams, and 0-6 versus 2A teams. Park Tudor comes into this game 2-2 versus 2A teams and 2-2 versus the sectional teams.
So Park Tudor clearly has had one of the recurring issues for Park Tudor. They have had one of the toughest schedules in all of Indiana basketball, one of the toughest schedules for any 2A team ever because of their prior success, of course. And that might become an advantage for them now playing against Shortridge, who is struggling because they have not played the caliber level of teams that Park Tudor has played.
Well, key things to look at right now. Shortridge is on a 3-game losing streak, losing to Math and Science, Heritage Christian, which is in our sectional, and Seton Catholic. But all were close games. Heritage Christian, who they almost lost to in double overtime, is 19th in 2A.
And it looks like starters for Shortridge are going to be Evan Turner. Powell is going to be starting. It's going to be Andre Dickerson. The big man, number 45, Davian Sims. And number 12, Ezekiel Burnett. Who do you think we have to look out for being Park Tudor?
Well, tonight, the big story is Isaiah Moore is out, sick right now today. And that'll be a deadly loss for Park Tudor on offense. He's been a strong presence on offense this whole season.
And Shortridge won the tip. Right now, number 5, Dickerson has it. Swings it over to Burnett. Burnett to Powell. Powell has it. Gives it down to Turner. Turner drives on Tristan, doesn't get anywhere. Kicks it out in the corner for Burnett for 3. No good. Micah Moore, smallest man on the court, pulls down the rebound. Which reminds me, Park Tudor starters are going to be Micah Ronald, who pulls up for a jumper. No good. Shortridge gets the rebound. Gaddafi Honecker, Spencer Hogue, and Tristan Buckets. And that's right now Dickerson with the ball up top. Kicks it to Burnett. Burnett gets the screen from Sims. Pops a 3. No good. But Shortridge gets the rebound. That's going to be Dickerson's second rebound. Kicks it out to Powell. Powell has it up top. Back. Dickerson for 3. No good. Tristan pulls down the bucket. Takes the ball up.
Definitely coming into this game, Shortridge struggles from three-point land, and Park Tudor can give up those shots all day.
Micah Moore has the ball. Gives it to Spencer Hogue. Spencer up to Ronald Johnson on the wing. Ronald back to Spencer. Spencer to Ronald. Ronald to Spencer. Spencer down to Tristan. Tristan drives baseline but dribbles out of bounds. Very good defense by number 2, Evan Turner.
Well, Tristan this game has to take over offensively. He struggled first game offensively, but played great defense. With Isaiah Moore being out, it'd be interesting to see how Park Tudor deals with him this whole game.
And Ronald Johnson, on that note, also needs to get hot because he is another player who can do absolute damage if he's feeling himself. And now the pass from Dickerson tries to go down and get Turner on the backdoor cut. Misses him, goes out of bounds. Park Tudor ball, 6:21 left in the game, still no bucket.
Park Tudor last game lost to Monrovia by 17. Although they played a spectacular first half defensively, their depth did not withstand Monrovia's big men.
Micah Moore has it up top, gives it to Spencer Hogue. Hogue has it to Buffkits in the corner. Buffkits back to Hogue. Hogue drives, kicks it out to Micah, but Hogue just travels right there.
Well, last game, Park Tudor had 6 travels in the whole game, and that is a bad method for a loss for Park Tudor there. And hopefully Park Tudor does not see the same trend in this game tonight.
6 travels, and a lot more turnovers as they are now pressuring on defense, though. As Micah Moore and Ronald Johnson pressure Burnett, but Burnett gets it out to number 45, Sims, who turns it over to Tristan Buffkits, but Tristan just loses it. It will be off him. His foot, though, just got a little out of control there. Another thing we talked about with Tristan is he needs to control himself, get under pace, especially on fast breaks.
Well, definitely that was a 2-on-4 position. He should have waited out and not let a dribble off his foot.
Hogue's on defense. Gives it up. Oh, and he tries, and that will be Powell trying to give it to Turner. Another turnover, though. Great steal by Hogue, as Hogue has the ball now on the wing. Gives it over to Micah. Micah drives. Kicks it to Tristan. Tristan to Ronald in the corner for 3. And it's good. First point of the game with 5:20 left in the first quarter. Park Tudor up 3-0.
That was great ball by Park Tudor there, finding the open man. With Tristan on the floor, Park Tudor has a lot more spacing because they can go inside and out. Without him, they could only go outside, and they couldn't drive in as much.
And Powell goes up, misses a shot, and it's going to be a foul on him as he tries to get his own offensive rebound, just shoves off there. That will be the team's first and his first of the game. And Spencer Hogue's going to bring up the ball. Looks like Shortridge is going in a 2-3 defense. They've been in a 2-3 this whole game. Micah has it up top. Takes the screen by Tristan, gives it to Ronald. Ronald has it. Back to Micah. Micah swings back to Ronald, who gives it at the corner to Spencer. Spencer pulls it out, gives it to Johnson. Johnson gives it to Moore. Moore gives it to Tristan. Buff gets to Ronald Johnson for 3. And it's good. 2 in a row.
Well, Park Tudor, every time they get it to the left side on the court, that's definitely Shortridge's weak side of the defense, and Park Tudor can get it there the whole game. Then they'll be winning by a lot.
And Powell tries driving it, but Tristan rejects him. And Ronald Johnson for 3, no good. He's 50% on the game, 2 for 4. But Ronald Johnson, they get the offensive rebound, tries to give it back to Ronald Johnson, but he travels. It'll be a turnover on Park Tudor. 6-0, 4:14 left. Park Tudor up.
North Shortridge comes into this game ranking 360th in Indiana and 85th in 2A, while Park Tudor is 212th in Indiana and 34th in 2A. Both two teams with similar records, but yet totally different rankings.
And Park Tudor tries pressing. They do beat the press, though, as Burnett pops from 3. No good. Tristan Buffkins tries to rep out the rebound, but ends up going out of bounds. And it will remain Shortridge ball.
Park Tudor this whole season has been struggling with offensive rebounds and giving up second chance points. If they can stop these second chance points, they will most likely win this game.
No subs yet on the game as Burnett has the ball in the corner. He drives on Micah Moore, goes up with the shot. No good. Tristan yanks down the board. Great having him on this team. As he brings the ball up, gives it out to Ronald Johnson up top. Ronald slows down the pace. Gives it out to Moore. Moore dribbles it back up top. Back to Hogue. He gives it back to Moore. He gives it back to Johnson, who Johnson tries driving. Doesn't get anywhere, though, as he gives it back to Hogue, who gives it to Tristan. Tristan for the corner shot. No good. Gaddafi brings down the offensive board, though. Puts it up, and it's no good once again. Rebound by Turner as he's trying to go coast to coast, but ends up passing it. And no good on the shot, as number 24, Alex Ogden, who subbed in the game, tried to get the assist back to Turner. No good, though. And that's going to be an defensive foul, blocking foul on Ogden. Tristan will be up for 2 shots as he tried to go coast to coast with the layup.
Well, Park Tudor tonight is playing a fast-paced offense, and that is not their cup of tea, really. Park Tudor likes to slow the ball down and dribble it in on the half-court offense, and Shortridge, who is trying to speed up the game, is doing a successful job, but not making the shots that they need to make. Tristan Buffkin makes his first shot, and Park Tudor up 7-0 with 3:09 left in the first quarter.
And second shot, good by Tristan as he goes 2 for 2 right there. Now Park Tudor going with the full court press, and a great defense by Micah getting in his face.
Well, Micah, hustle player of the team, we stated last game, has become an immense role in this team and has shown leadership throughout his time.
Park Tudor shutting out Shortridge thus far with 5 minutes into the first quarter. As Ronald Johnson gets a wide open 3 in the corner, and it's good. Nothing but that. You got to get a handout on him.
Well, Park Tudor this whole first quarter has been damaging that Shortridge left side of their 2-3 defense. Keys to the game for Park Tudor is do not get out to a comfortable lead early. They need a rebound. Against Monrovia, they were rebounded by 15, and that was not what you want for success. And also, do not settle for shots. Drive to the basket. Park Tudor last night, Park Tudor against Monrovia struggled from the 3-point line, and all they did was shoot some more. Shortridge, on the other hand, make Park Tudor settle. They're not a reliable shooting team. Although tonight they've made 3 threes, they are not a reliable team. Also, drive into the lane and draw fouls. Park Tudor does not have enough depth to keep up with the team. And they run 7 deep, and if they get 2 of those people out, then Shortridge will most likely win.
Well, Park Tudor playing very good thus far. More specifically, Ronald Johnson, who has 9 out of the 11 points, 3 for 5 from 3. And one thing that I did say early in this broadcast, before he even got hot, is a key for Park Tudor to win is for that young freshman, Ronald Johnson, to get hot early in the game. He has done that thus far. Park Tudor shut him out on defense, too. Let's see how it continues as Shortridge has the ball, passing it in. The only substitution right now is going to be Ogden subbing in for Shortridge. No substitutions for Park Tudor thus far, as they do easily beat the press. So Ogden has a wide open layup, but great contesting layup by Spencer Hogue forces them to travel.
Park Tudor tonight has done a spectacular job pressuring the ball. That's their 4th turnover, causing a 4th turnover tonight. An instant recipe for success.
Johnson has the ball. Kicks it out to Hogue. Hogue tries to kick it back out to Johnson. Almost stolen by Powell. Ends up going out of bounds. Still Park Tudor ball with 2:35 left in the first.
Park Tudor tonight running a man-trap defense, and they've caused a lot of turnovers tonight.
And Micah Moore has the ball up top. Gives it to Ronald. Johnson to Hogue. Hogue back to Johnson. Johnson tries driving, gets nowhere, gives it to Micah in the corner. Micah back out to Hogue. Hogue has the ball up top. Gives it down low to Gaddafi Honecker. Honecker to Hogue. Hogue to Moore. Moore to Hogue. Hogue to Honecker. Honecker to Tristan. Tristan has the layup and he hits it. It's good. Great ball movement by the Panthers.
Well, definitely Park Tudor's not settling tonight. They're getting into the basket, driving and penetrating. That's how they got that basket there.
Ogden, 4-corner 3. Air balls as he shoots it over. Powell with the offensive rebound on Gaddafi, though. And they finally get their first points as Turner puts it up. And as you've been noticing, Park Tudor has been letting them break the press a little more. And the game against Monrovia, the press worked early, but towards the end of the game, it didn't work. Park Tudor might have to adjust soon as Ronald Johnson has the ball up top.
Well, that was fatigue in that game, and Park Tudor just did not have a good game last game.
Tristan, 4-3, and it's good. So far, Tristan and Ronald with the 16 out of 16 points of the Panthers. Tristan scoring 7, Ronald scoring 9. And 1:16 left in the quarter as Powell pops a 3 right in Gaddafi Honecker's face. 5-16. Shortridge is down with a minute left in the first quarter.
Well, Powell's not one of their top scorers. Evan Turner and Andre Dickinson average 13 points per game, and those two have been very quiet this fourth quarter.
Johnson has the ball up top. Swings it to Moore, who swings it to Hogue, who gives it down low to Gaddafi. Gaddafi tries for the jumper, no good. Tristan gets a rebound over 3 defenders, hits the shot, and it's good, 18-5. As right now, Dickinson has it on the fast break. Excuse me, that's Burnett. Burnett tries to give it down to Ogden. Ogden back out to Dickinson for 3. No good. But another offensive rebound on Gaddafi Honecker. As that's going to be an and one shot by Evan Turner as Gaddafi goes up for the foul afterward.
Well, Evan Turner got away with an over-the-back foul there and then got away with a and one foul. And now Shortridge seems to be back in this game, only down 11, and they could cut it to 10 this possession.
And that's going to be one more shot. 7-18, Shortridge down. And Turner hits his shot. That'll be good. Park Tudor up 10 points left with 27 seconds left. Looks like they're just going to be holding the ball for the last shot as Micah slowly takes it out. Shortridge still on their 2-3 zone. Swings it over to Malachi, who just subbed in the game. Malachi to Moore to Buffkits. Buffkits to Johnson. Johnson tries driving, gets nowhere. 8 seconds left. Buffkits gives it to Archie, 4-3, and it's good. Malachi with the 3 as time's going to expire. Turner with the heaver, no good on the buzzer beater shot. Park Tudor up 21-8 after the first quarter.
Well, Park Tudor tonight has come out shooting spectacularly. 4 threes in that first quarter, and Park Tudor's up 21-8 after that second quarter, doing a spectacular job. Let's get to know Shortridge, the school. They're coached by Troy Lane in his 5th season. and they are 8-55 throughout those 5 seasons. Their mascot is the Blue Devils, and their rival is Christmas Addicts, both historic schools in Indianapolis. Shortridge is the oldest public high school in Indianapolis when it opened in 1864. Now today, it is a magnet school, but a lot of people feed into that school. In 1968, Shortridge was a runner-up in basketball, and they've won 5 golf titles and 3 runners-up in golf titles. They've won 2 wrestling championships, 2 tracks, and 2-time runner-up in track. In basketball, they're 10-time sectional champions, 4-time runner-up, 1 semi-state, and 1 runner-up. Notable alumni is Kurt Vonnegut, author, and he has a lot of fame around Park Tudor, Richard Lugar, state senator of Indiana, and many writers and musicians. And my partner in crime's grandpa and my bubby, Sarah Ann Warner, both went to this school.
There we go, right there. That is, and the biggest shock of 2018 happened right now as Eli Anderson checks in the game. After all of his years of tendonitis, nobody ever thought he could come back, but he is back now. And right now, Archie and Eli subbed in for Park Tudor. Speaking of Archie, just travels there trying to get a download to Gaddafi Honecker. As Shortridge has it, that's going to be Dickinson passing it to Burnett. Burnett tries giving it back to Turner. That's going to end up being a foul, though, called on number 13, Eli Anderson.
Once again, then that last possession, it was just Archie. It's his first sectional game and his first very important varsity game for him. And it will be interesting to see how he deals with all the pressures of sectionals.
And Tristan tries saving the ball, ends up throwing it right off of Turner's head. Good effort by the junior. And he'll be taking out the ball, Turner. Malachi playing up on him tight as he finally does get it out to Powell, though on tightly by Buffkets. Powell has it, gives it down low to Turner. Turner tries posting up, ends up giving the pass to Ogden. And that's going to be Ogden, with the score. Park Tudor only up 11, 21-10.
With Park Tudor running that trap man defense, there'll be a lot of open layups for Shortridge tonight. It'll be interesting how Park Tudor will deal with these great passes of Shortridge.
And Moore has it up top, gives it to Archie, who gives it to Anderson. Anderson has it in the corner, gives it back up top to Micah. Moore has it. Looks like they're going into a 1-3-1 zone now. Shortridge, that is, on defense. Micah has the ball up top, swings it down to Archie for a corner 3. No good.
Park Tudor tonight has been getting a lot of open corner 3s. That's been their key to success tonight.
They have been capitalizing a lot on those 3s. Props to Park Tudor as they are playing man defense. On defense either way. 6:50 left in the second quarter as Powell shoots a 3. Good. He hits it. Only an 8-point game now as Shortridge is coming back quickly after their rough start.
Well, Powell did not get the scouting work, did not do his justice. He's done a spectacular job offensively tonight.
Anderson gives it to Moore. Moore to Buffkets. Buffkets with the deep 3. No good. Anderson almost gets a rebound, but Ogden ends up pulling it away with it. Micah and Anderson tried fighting for that rebound, but nonetheless, it is going to be Shortridge's ball.
Well, that was just to settle there, and that's what Park Tudor does not want to do in this game.
Powell drives it in, gives it up to Ogden. Ogden tries giving it to Anderson, or tries giving it to Dickerson, but Anderson ended up fouling there as he just lost his footing.
That almost could have been called for a flagrant against Anderson then. That was a very hard foul, and he needs to be careful if he's going to pick up one of those detrimental fouls.
Well, absolutely, right there. That was uncalled for. And Ogden's going to be subbing back out as Sims goes back in the game. Looks like Shortridge is going to be playing a 6-man rotation as they give it down low to Sims, or try to at least. But Gaddafi Honecker ends up forcing Sims to almost go out of bounds. He tries saving it, gives it back to Tristan Buffkets, who goes coast to coast. No good on the shot. Powell with the rebound. Gives it up to Burnett. Burnett, who just tries taking it in. That's going to be a foul on, it looks as to be a foul on 15.
Well, tonight,
that's going to be on Eli Anderson. That'll be his 3rd, and just 2 minutes and 15 seconds of play. He has been very aggressive, but one has to think too aggressive.
Well, yeah, he's just getting a little out of control. That's a little bit of the jitters. But he's played in the state finals for tennis, so pressure does not get to him that often.
And Hogue and Johnson are going to be checking back in the game for Archie and Anderson. And they missed the first free throw. That's going to be Burnett at the line. He's up for a second one.
Shelton on the bench telling his team no threes. His team is settling a lot right now, and he wants them to drive in a lot more.
Well, of course, Tristan seems to be filling in Isaiah's role of almost forcing shots, feeling like he has to score. I think he needs to do a little less of that, like I felt like Isaiah had to do a little less of that, and just let the scores come naturally and try not to force it so much. And Shortridge makes a second free throw, as now Park Tudor ball. Moore has it, gives it to Johnson. Back to Moore. Moore to Hogue. Hogue drives it in, takes the jumper, and it's good. Good jumper by Hogue.
That was great patience by Park Tudor, settling it down and moving the ball around to give that open shot.
Right now, Shortridge has it. It's Powell. Powell's getting double teamed by Hogue and Johnson, as the ball is going to go out of bounds, tipped by Hogue. Going to remain Shortridge ball with 5:10 left to play.
Park Tudor playing a more aggressive defense, but their foul total doesn't seem to be going up that much in this half. Only with 4 fouls this whole half.
Dickerson has the ball. Burnett has the ball, gives it to Dickerson. Dickerson gives it back to Burnett. Burnett drives in, kicks it out to Dickerson. Dickerson just walks. Does not put the ball on the ground soon enough. It's going to be Park Tudor ball.
Well, Dickerson, junior for this team, one of the leaders for this team. His teammates said that they looked up to him greatly. And being one of the leading scorers, he needs to make a lot more plays for him to get back into this game.
Buffkits has it at the corner, gives it back up top to Hogue, who swings it down to Micah. Micah does the same jump shot as Spencer, but he misses it. Ronald Johnson yanks down the board, though, kicks it out to Tristan for a jumper. Jumper misses it, though, as Sims pulls down with the rebound, gives it out to Burnett. Burnett has the ball, tries driving on Micah, gets nowhere. Back up top. Gives it up as he drives, and now it's going to be Dickerson, who has been shut down thus far this game, as it ends up being a steal. A tip by Kadafi Honecker into Tristan's hands, who gives it to Hogue, who Hogue drives and hits a floater but doesn't hit it. Who gives it to Micah, who gives it to Ronald, open for three. No good. They get the offensive board, but then they don't, because now Powell got the offensive board. It all kind of happened a little fast there. Fast-paced game, as now Turner is driving on Tristan. Turner with the jumper, no good. Michael Moore gets the rebound, and coach finally asked his team to slow it down, as we are midway through the second quarter. Park Tudor up 23-14.
Park Tudor seems to be hands on hips right now, a little tired, showing that they don't have that much depth. It'll be interesting to see how coach subs the team right now. Shortridge likes to play that fast-paced offense, and Tristan seems to be very slower than he was in that first quarter.
Ronald Johnson pulls up with the jumper, just overshoots, and it's no good. Seems to have lost his hot streak there, as now Dickerson has the ball. Gives it to Burnett. Burnett guarded by Micah, who tries to backdoor it to Dickerson. No good, though, as Kadafi Honecker on the fast break layup goes up and he hits it. Good shot by Kadafi. 25-14, Park Tudor up 11.
Well, Kadafi needs to act like a bigger man right now. He's one of the biggest players on this team and needs to start playing like a post player if he wants to make a big difference in this state tournament.
Powell kicks it to Burnett for three. No good on the shot, as Tristan saves the rebound. And it's going to be going Park Tudor way, as Hogue has it. Now he just slows down the pace of the game. Coach Shelton did not want them to keep playing fast baseball. Johnson has it, kicks it to Tristan. Tristan back to Johnson. Johnson back to Tristan. Tristan drives baseline and ends up going up and hitting the layup. And it's good. Park Tudor up 13.
Although Tristan has the size of a big man, he does not play like a businessman. He gets compared to Kristaps Porzingis in the New York Knicks player. Tall but very fast and quick.
Sims has it, kicks it back out to Powell. Powell for three, no good. Sims gets the offensive rebound, though. Kicks it back out to Powell. Powell tries to throw it into Burnett. Those passes are just not going to work when a guy like Micah Moore is playing so tightly on him.
Well, Tristan needs a sub right now. He's jogging up the court and looking very light on his feet.
And right on cue, Coach Shelton calls a timeout with 2:07 left in the second quarter.
Let's look around the Park Tudor players around the nation right now. Jaron Jackson's averaging 11.4 points per game, 5.8 rebounds per game, and 1.2 assists. He's on the Michigan State team, which is #2 in the country, which is also #1 in the Big Ten with a 28-3 record. This week, he won Big Ten Freshman of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. He's projected 7th overall in the draft, and people are calling him the most complete big man in the draft. He is 3rd in the nation in blocks with 3.3 blocks per game. Yogi Ferrell of the Dallas Mavericks is averaging 10.2 points per game, 2.9 rebounds per game, and 2.9 assists per game. And he is on the 19-42 Mavericks roster. Trayvon Blewett is averaging 19.2 points per game, 5.6 rebounds per game, and 2.7 assists per game. He's leading the number 5 Xavier with a 25-4 record, and he is number 3 on the Xavier all-time scoring list and projected 48th overall in draft. Kobe Webster on Western Illinois, who's 12-15, is averaging 16.3 points per game, 4.1 rebounds per game, and 3.6 assists per game. And Bryce Moore of Western Michigan, who's a junior, as 17-14, 9.9 points per game, 2.6 rebounds per game, and 1.6 assists per game.
Well, thank you for the call on Park Tudor players right now killing it around the country as Gaddafi Honecker has it down low, kicks it back up top to Spencer Hogue, who swings it to Micah. Micah swings it to Ronald Johnson, little high though. Ronald Johnson makes it. Looks like they have really picked up the pressure, Shortridge that is. As Gaddafi Honecker has it, gives it up to Micah. Micah swings it to Hogue, who gives it in the corner to Johnson. Johnson trying to get trapped, almost gets trapped, ends up getting it out to Hogue. Hogue needs to slow it down. Almost out of control there, but ends up maintaining the ball. Gives it to Micah, who gives it to Hogue, who gives it to Tristan, who gives it to Ronald, who Ronald has it, gives it back to Hogue. Hogue has it up top, swings it to Micah. Swings it back to Gaddafi. Great ball movement by the Panthers. Who gives it to Ronald, who tries backdooring. That's going to be a jump ball, though. Great defense by number 5, Dickerson. Great defense right there.
Well, that was a great defense. Keeping your hands up, not moving your feet. That's how they caused that jump ball. During that possession, Park Tudor had a lot of bubble passes, and they seemed to be drifting in the air, and Shortridge could have had opportunities to steal that ball.
And the ball given up. Oh, and a great move by Dickerson as he gets the assist from Powell. Great backdoor right there as Park Tudor is up 27-16 with a minute left to play in the second.
Well, Park Tudor just giving up too many layups. That's how almost every one of Shortridge's points tonight is layups, but although not giving up many threes, which is good.
Moore has it, or excuse me, Buckets has it, drives baseline, hits a shot. That seems to be where he's getting his most buckets tonight, is by the baseline drive layup.
Well, the question was coming into this game, was Tristan completing the role player position and scoring a lot of points, or being somewhat of a ball hog, but has played that role position, which has done immense. Great effort for Park Tudor tonight.
And it looks like Park Tudor doing something they rarely do, going in a 2-3 zone. The coach maybe wanting to rest him up at the end of the quarter.
Well,
20 seconds left. Looks like they're going to hold it for last shot.
Park Tudor has had a great half defensively, only letting up 16 points. It'd be interesting how they do in the second half. They are not a second half team due to their depth.
And that's going to be Turner, who misses the floater. Spencer Hogue has it, though. Drives, kicks it out to Micah Moore. Micah to Ronald for the buzzer beater 3. Oh, and it's no good, just long. Park Tudor up 29-16 at the end of the first half. And we will be right back for second half action. And don't go anywhere.
We are back here at Speedway High School for the second half. Park Tudor's up 29-16 against the Shortridge Blue Devils. Park Tudor's done a spectacular job shooting against in the corner this whole half, and their defense has caused a lot of turnovers. If Park Tudor were to win tonight, they'd play March 2nd against either the winner of the second game tonight, Heritage Christian versus Indianapolis Arlington. Heritage Christian, who's ranked 19th in the state for 2A, and Arlington, who beat Park Tudor earlier this season.
Well, if Park Tudor manages to win this one, which they probably should, being up 13 at the end of the half, but like you said, we are not a second half team. If we manage to win this one, though, that's going to be a tough matchup to watch Heritage go up against Arlington. Either one of those teams will give us a big run for our money. We'll have to play better than we played all season in order to have a chance.
Well, Heritage only beat this Shortridge team on February 12th by only 3 in second OT. So Park Tudor, if they can make a big lead, they can show that they're top dogs in this 2A conference.
And Park Tudor, of course, definitely not out of it because they have a few more games. That game that we will be calling will be on Friday night at 7:45 p.m. So if Park Tudor happens to win this, tune in then, right here, to get all your latest Park Tudor varsity basketball.
Well, Park Tudor started out very strong in that half, coming out 13-0, which has given this comfortable lead. Park Tudor is not a sustainable shooting team, so if they get out to a lead, it usually means that they're going to win this game. We are live here with local fan Ian Kroll. Ian Kroll, how are you doing tonight?
Good.
Ian, a local baseball player. How are you preparing for this baseball season?
You know, I'm just really, I've been working out 3 times a week in the morning with the baseball team. So, yeah, other than that, I just do some stuff outside, but yeah.
Well, Ian, it's been a great time talking to you. I'll see you after the game.
What a great character that Ian Kroll is.
And Park Tudor starts out with the ball this second half.
It's going to be Spencer Hoke has it, gives it out to Ronald Johnson. Johnson to Honecker. Honecker to Buffkitz. Buffkitz has it, kicks it back up top to Hogue. Hogue has it, gives it to Johnson. Johnson to Gaddafi in the corner for a jumper. That'll be 2 points as Park Tudor hits the first 2 points of the half.
Once again, Park Tudor that first half got into that left corner of that Shortridge defense, which gave them so many open shots. They seem to already be attacking it this second half.
Yeah, very, very high pressure on defense, though, as they look to be playing a press. But that will be Turner hitting a shot in Hogue's face. Great shot right there.
Shortridge's leading scorer is Andre Dickinson, and Evan Turner were very quiet in that first half. Powell for Shortridge did a spectacular job offensively and kept Shortridge somewhat in this game.
And, of course, that's Powell almost coming away with the steal right there, as he has really stepped it up in this sectional game, playing a great game.
Well, he's one of the leaders on this team. He's one of the only seniors on this Shortridge roster. And for him to show leadership to his whole team, playing his heart out, and hopefully for Park Tudor, his last game.
Hogue has it in the corner. They're going to be going back. Shortridge is going to be going back to a 2-3 zone, but they are trapping in corners. However, they forced Park Tudor to take a timeout right there. That'll be a 30-second one called by Coach Shelton. Park Tudor is up 31-18 with 6:58 left in the third.
Well, usually in that first half, when they got into the corner, they had an easy drive to the basket, and Coach seems to be very intense with his players with getting into the corner. And this team seems to be fired up for the second half.
And still going to be Park Tudor's ball, taking it out as senior Spencer Hogue gets the young players, Micah and Ronald, in a huddle, telling them what to do, where to go. Great leadership.
Well, Park Tudor tonight also has a size advantage, which is very unlikely for this Park Tudor team. Has only had the size advantage in 3 games this whole season.
That is correct. As the ball is in to Ronald Johnson, he gets the backcourt. Once again, excuse me. Now it looks like Shortridge is back to a 1-3-1. They change back again, trapping in corners. Ronald Johnson has the ball from Tristan, who passes it from the corner. Ronald has it up top, gives it to Hogue. Hogue back to Johnson. Johnson to Moore. Moore drives it in, kicks it up top to Ronald, who kicks it to Hogue. Hogue gives it back to Ronald. Ronald bobbles it, maintains the ball though.
And Park Tudor squeezes it out. Shortridge doing a great job plugging in the holes and stopping all the penetration by Park Tudor.
Ronald has it, kicks it to Moore. Moore back to Johnson. Johnson dribbles it in, but ends up kicking back. A great defense by Shortridge right here, not letting Park Tudor get anything. But as I say that, Micah Moore gets an open three, no good. As Spencer Hogue pulls away with the offensive rebound. Great tip by Gaddafi Honecker to get it out to him.
Park Tudor seems to be slowing it up this half, not being as aggressive as they were in that first half, and they seem to be very patient on these possessions.
As they have had the ball now for over a minute, just breaking the minute-and-a-half marker with 5:48, as Ronald Johnson pulls up a jumper from the corner. No good, as that's going to be Ogden coming away with the rebound, part of the team's six-man rotation.
After that long possession, Park Tudor would have liked to see that shot go down. It's a little detrimental for them not to score on such a long possession.
Powell has it up top. Tries to kick it to Turner, but just goes in between his hands, as now Tristan comes away with the steal. Tries going coast to coast, and the layup's good, 33-18.
Tristan's been very aggressive tonight, only shooting 2 threes and has 8 points on the game.
He has it, and almost a missed travel call right there. But the ball is down low by Turner. That will be the assist by Burnett. Great shot right there, great backdoor.
Park Tudor this half now in a 1-3-1 instead of in that man-to-man trap, which has caused a couple layups for Shortridge this whole half.
And Tristan just gets it picked, his pocket picked by Turner. And that's going to be Dickerson trying to go coast to coast after getting the ball tipped to him. Just loses control of the ball and loses it out of bounds. Park Tudor's ball. As Shelton is yelling his head off, very upset of the constant turnovers by his team.
Well, definitely after every turnover, Park Tudor seems to get that turnover back by stealing it from Shortridge tonight, not letting them into this game, giving momentum to Shortridge.
Moore has it, gives it to Buffkits. Buffkits gives it to Hogue, gives it to Johnson, 4-3, wide open, and it's good. He will take that shot 10 out of 10 times. Great shot by Ronald Johnson.
Well, Park Tudor tonight on fire from 3. Has 6 threes this whole game and doing a great job shooting.
Micah almost getting the steal right there, but ends up, Powell gets it back again, ends up getting stripped by Hogue as he gives it up to Cato on the fast break. Gaddafi misses the layup though as Powell has the rebound. And now it looks like they're going to be going on a fast break of their own as he drives it in, goes up for the floater. No good as Tristan gets the rebound, going on another fast break of his own. And coach is telling them to quote-unquote chill right now as Tristan almost got a little out of control there. Subbing in for Shortridge was number 3, Jaden Barnes, coming in the game for the first time today. As Hogue has it, kicks it to Moore. Moore back to Tristan. Tristan in the corner, and he got it. Another bucket by Tristan as Park Tudor goes up 38-20 with 3:31 left in the third quarter. And that's going to be a full timeout by Shortridge.
Once again, Park Tudor, every time they get into that left corner of that Shortridge defense, seem to be getting an open jump shot. That is the 3rd straight possession where Park Tudor has scored in that left corner. Yesterday, Cecina played Speedway, and Cecina won by 12 points and now is playing Indianapolis, Washington on March 2nd. The winner of that game will play on March 3rd at 7 o'clock of the winner between tonight's games of Heritage Christian Arlington and Park Tudor and Indianapolis Shortridge when they play on March 2nd at 7:45.
And those are going to be 2 great back-to-back games, Friday night, Saturday night. It's going to be interesting to see what both teams can do. And tournaments are really, in my opinion, tournaments, a lot of people say it's about getting caught at the right time. I say it really does boil down to the coaching. And if your team is well coached when it comes tournament time, you will succeed. Hopefully, Coach Shelton makes the adjustments he needs to and does what he needs to do in order to have a successful tournament. As now it's going to be number 2, Evan Turner has the ball. Turner has it. Tries to give it up to Barnes, but ends up getting stolen by just the long arms of Tristan Buffkits. Park Tudor slowing it down. Hogue crosses half court. Gives it to Moore. Moore back to Hogue. Archie checking in the game for Ronald Johnson, who's taking a quick breather. And the pass, Tristan tries to give it to Hogue. A little over his head. Hogue recovers it, though. Gives it to Micah Moore for 3. And it's good. Park Tudor goes up 21. The first 20-point lead by Park Tudor in a long time.
Park Tudor shooting 65% from the floor tonight. And a 75% shooting from 3 tonight. It's doing a spectacular shooting lights out this whole game.
And that's going to be a foul right there by Malachi Archie, as number 11, Alonzo Watson, who checked in the game recently, comes in the game. And it looks like Indianapolis Shortridge is making a lot more substitutions this half.
Well, definitely these players are very tired right now. A lot of them hands on the knees, while Park Tudor still showing a lot of energy and playing with a lot of fire.
Well, Alonzo has it. Watson has the ball again, and he goes in for the drive and ends up getting fouled on the shot. That's going to be back-to-back fouls on Malachi Archie. Pulling an Eli Anderson coming in the game and getting quick foul after quick foul.
Well, someone who's we have not seen tonight is Cole Greenwald. He's a spectacular shooter, but not coming in, and he's a great hustle player coming off the bench. Not gotten many minutes tonight.
And Heritage misses his first free throw. That's Watson missing his free throw. And yes, Cole Greenwald really his minutes have declined. And I don't know if it's because he's gotten worse throughout the season or something that coach saw in him, but all I know is that the young freshman isn't playing near as much as he did at the beginning of the season. As 2:32 left in the third quarter, Park Tudor up 41-20.
Well, Park Tudor not giving up many fouls, only 2 fouls this whole quarter, but Park Tudor wants to stay in this lead. They cannot give.
And Watson misses both free throws, but Ogden gets the rebound, gives it back to Watson, who then gives it out to Barnes. Barnes has it up top, guarded by Micah Moore. Barnes has it, kicks it to Watson. Lonzo Watson has it. Back to Ogden. Ogden to Watson. Watson tries driving the ball, pops it in Micah's face, and he hits the shot. The shot's good, 22-41.
As we
They're
spoke,
still down.
Cole Greenwald is now checking into the game for the first time. We must Coach Shelton must have heard us from across the stadium to put Cole Greenwald in.
Well, that right there is what you like to call a mean fit in by Coach Shelton. Listening into our conversation and executing it, although subs have not in yet, as Malachi Archie has it for the jumper. No good, as Tristan gets the offensive board, though, and puts it back in. 22-43.
Well, Tristan,
Shortridge down.
Not usually playing like a big man, but tonight has had 3 offensive rebounds, but struggling defensively on the defense rebound, giving up 2 offensive rebounds to his to the person he's been guarding.
And right now he has the ball. Kicks it to Watson. Watson down low to Sims, the big man, and it's good. Great shot by Sims.
Well, that's been Sims' first time. We've mentioned him this whole broadcast. He's been very quiet down low. They don't seem to be giving him the ball that often.
And the white boys ready to sub in. Eli Anderson and Cole Greenwald. As Ronald Johnson has the ball. Kicks it to Tristan Buffkets. Buff gets in the corner to Malachi. Malachi drives, kicks it to Gaddafi Honecker. Gaddafi goes up for the layup, and it's good.
That was great awareness by Malachi there. He saw the defender coming over, leaving Gaddafi wide open.
And he has it up top now. That's going to be Dickerson, who's been very quiet this game, gives it to Watson. Watson tries to give it back to Dickerson. Tipped by Tristan, but Dickerson gets the ball nevertheless. He's dribbling it. Kicks it to Barnes. Barnes tries driving and ends up kicking it out to Sims. Sims in the corner. Gives it up to Watson, though. Looks like they're going to hold it for the last shot as 15 seconds left in the quarter. Gives it to Sims, though. Sims pulls up with the jumper from the free throw line. 8 seconds left as he misses it. And Malachi goes and drives, looks to take it coast to coast. Gives it to Micah Moore in the corner, though. Micah goes up with the baseline jumper and is going to get fouled with 0.9 seconds left in the corner.
Great penetration by Micah Moore there, causing that foul to happen. And Park Tudor going into this fourth quarter up 21 and possibly 23 if he makes both of these shots.
And that means Eli Anderson and Cole Greenwald will check in the game for a total of 0.9 seconds, assuming they get pulled at the beginning of the fourth, as Micah Moore goes up for his first free throw. No good, though. In and out.
The teams playing tonight are Arlington High School and Heritage Christian seem to be entering the building, looking at who they will be playing in the next game.
As Park Tudor is right now up by 11 points as Micah misses the first one. And Micah misses the second one, but it goes out of bounds over the backboard. And that's going to be Eli Anderson checking in for Micah.
Eli Anderson, first time coming in since his 3-foul spree and almost getting a flagrant foul.
And oh boy, that full quarter, no good.
It was way off.
It looked like it could have had a chance to be close. At the end of the third, Park Tudor up 45-24. And great quarter by Park Tudor, who normally doesn't have the best showings in the third quarter.
Well, Park Tudor tonight has a huge size advantage over Shortridge, with Tristan and Gaddafi being taller than their whole team. This will not be the case for the rest of this sectional. Park Tudor is outsized by almost every team, and if they are to play Heritage Christian, who are most likely to win this game, they'll be very much outsized. And it'll be interesting to see how Park Tudor will deal with Heritage Christian's 6'4" and 6'3" players.
Well, definitely. That's going to be one of the greatest changes for playing from one team to another, which is why I said it really does come down to the coaching aspect. Because if Shelton has a good way of adjusting, then I think Park Tudor can win this sectional. And if they beat Heritage, I think their chances of winning the sectional are very great. Oh no, it looks like Tristan right now is talking to the trainer.
Well, he seemed to be getting hit in the eye on that last play. Seemed to be holding and coming onto that bench, but he'll be out there for that fourth quarter. And although they're up 21 right now, they need him back into this game in order to keep this lead. Well,
let's see if Shortridge just got hyped up by the song Harlem Shake getting played throughout the stadium as the beginning of the fourth quarter is underway. And it looks like Eli and Cola are going to stay in the game for Micah and Tristan. Burnett has the ball. Kicks it out to Powell. Powell to Turner. Turner to Ogden. Ogden back up top to Barnes. Barnes to Turner. Back to Barnes. As it kicks it to Ogden. Ogden tries to take the screen. Decides not to. Gives it up to Turner, though. Turner for the long two. No good on the shot. Ends up, Powell pulls away the rebound from Cole Greenwald. No good, though. Gaddafi Honecker gets the rebound. Gives it to Ronald Johnson, who will be taking up the ball.
Well, Park Tudor, now that Tristan's out, will be struggling rebound. They'll give up a couple offense rebound, but let's see how Coach Shelton adjusts this defense and help them rebound a lot more.
Greenwald gives it to Johnson. Johnson guarded tightly by Barnes, who gives it out to Anderson. Anderson back to Johnson. Drives, but ends up getting stripped by Barnes and taken away by Turner. A minute into this fourth quarter. So far, no one has scored. Powell drives it on all of Park Tudor. Ends up getting fouled by Malachi Archie. That will be his third of the game.
Well, Malachi this whole season has been struggling defensively. That's why he hasn't gotten as many minutes on that varsity team as he would like. Next year, if he makes his speed a lot faster, he'll make a great effect for this team and give him a lot more success.
First shot is good. Good shot by Powell, as the game is now within 20 points again.
Well, this lineup right now for Park Tudor will be the future for the Panthers. All freshmen and sophomores.
Exactly. These are probably, as I'm looking around, the 5 best freshmen and sophomore, and it's very nice to see them play all together. As Ronald Johnson kicks it out to Eli Anderson, open for 3! Oh, but he just overshoots. Almost a three-point made by the sophomore.
Well, Eli Anderson showing a great effort there, but his jitters seem to be getting to him this whole game.
His jitters seem to be getting to him every game. Less, though, in this game, as he manages to hit the rim. As a missed shot there by Powell. Ronald Johnson has the ball. Gives it to Malachi Archie. Archie has it. Tries giving it to Ronald Johnson. Ends up getting a kickball violation.
Tristan seems to be back on that bench, ready to be put back into this game. That's a good find for Park Tudor in the next coming games.
I think Coach might decide to rest some of the older players, let the young team learn together as this game. Speaking of which, though, Malachi just turns over the ball, ends up getting tipped by Powell, pass to Barnes, and Barnes hits the floater shot, putting the game within 17 points. And And as I say that, Tristan and Spencer looked at Chubin as Cole Greenwald just throws the ball away. And now Burnett has it. Ooh, ball blocked by Eli Anderson. They're going to call it as a foul. That'll be his 4th.
Well, Eli is getting now taken out by Micah Moore, and now Park Tudor is going back to the starting lineup for the rest of this game, so it does not get any closer.
Oh, and exactly, it will be the starting lineup. Park Tudor just trying to put him away, not going to make a mistake of giving up a big lead here, as they should. Burnett has it, and he drives in for the layup, and it's good. Park Tudor only up 15 now, as Ronald Johnson has it. Gives it to Tristan. Tristan up to Gaddafi. They are going to be in a full press now, Shortridge, as Park Tudor manages to beat the press as Tristan has it up top. They resort back into a 2-3 zone, but they're going to be up on Park Tudor for a high-pressure game as Micah has it, kicks it to Ronald, who kicks it down low to Gaddafi, and Gaddafi goes up big, strong with it, hits the layup.
Well, now Park Tudor has their ball handlers back, and they'll be able to break that press easily. But when Michael Moore and Spencer Hogue were not in the game, there was a lot of turnovers caused by that press. Park Tudor seems to be in a 2-3 right now, trying to rest their players for the next game.
And Burnett goes for the 3, ends up missing the 3-point shot as Barnes tries to go in for the offensive rebound. Doesn't get it, though. Spencer Hogue pulls it away, dribbling the ball up the court.
It was a great adjustment by Coach Shelton there, going to a 2-3. Shortridge was unable to make 1-3 this whole game, and going to a 2-3, causing...
Gaddafi Honecker gives it up to Tristan Buffkets, who gives it back to Hogue. Hogue to Moore. Moore in the corner to Ronald Johnson, who just almost got trapped, ended up getting out of it as he gives it up to Hogue. Hogue to Johnson. Looks like Shortridge is going to be going into man-to-man defense as Hogue has the ball now.
Well, Shortridge seems to be in a 2-2-1 right now, trapping in the corner when they get the opportunity. And Gaddafi turns it over on that possession, misfumbling the ball.
That does seem to be the case, 2-2-1. Good call out as Shortridge takes a timeout. What does Coach Lane need to do here in order to have the Shortridge team a chance to come back and win the game?
Well, definitely. They need to cause turnovers and make threes. Now that Park Tudor's gone into a 2-3 defense, they need to make their 3-point shots in order to come back into this game. Park Tudor, though, needs to take care of the ball. Do not have short possessions. There's 4 minutes left, and this is still a ball game, only down 17, although Park Tudor can't give up possessions very easily. Park Tudor needs to keep these defensive possessions very long and hold the ball as long as they can. And if they get open shots, shoot them.
Well, I've definitely seen teams come back on Park Tudor, or not come back, but score more than 17 points within a 4-minute span, as there is only 4 minutes left in the game. Park Tudor only up 17 here, as they will still be playing their starters, wanting to close out the game. And that's going to be Watson taking the ball out.
Well, Park Tudor shows a little experience on these neutral courts. Although they're 1-4 on the neutral courts, Shortridge is yet to play a neutral game until today.
So Park Tudor has a little more experience, although not a successful one, as that's going to be an and one hit by Eric McCall Powell.
Well, McCall Powell is in the game for the first time, and
excuse me, Powell has actually been playing since the beginning of the game. He's been a starter. You knew that. It's okay. Just a little miscommunication here, as I tried saying his first name for the first time. Unsuccessfully did it, as Park Tudor gets the rebound after a missed shot by Powell. Well, Tristan has it on the wing. Gives it to Ronald Johnson, who gives it to Gaddafi Honecker, who almost tries to dunk. Ends up missing the layup, though. Sims gets the rebound.
Well, that seemed to be a double clutch play there, and that's why they did not get that shot in right there. That was not a smart play by Gaddafi Honecker.
And Powell goes up for another and one shot, except the foul was called on the floor on number 4, Spencer Hogue. That'll be his first of the game.
Well, Spencer has had a spectacular game, not offensively but defensively, stopping the guards and keeping the lanes keeping the players from getting into the lanes.
And even up by 15 with 3:44 left, Coach Shelton is still upset as his team, even though Shortridge just threw a turnover. Michael Moore has the ball. Dribbles it, passes it to Hogue. Hogue drives, gets nowhere. It's highly pressured on the corner. That's going to be a turnover on Hogue. going to go the other way.
That was a very questionable call. It seemed to be out on Shortridge, but it was called out on Hogue. And Coach was a little angry by that call. And once again, Park Tudor coming up short with no points and giving up Shortridge another opportunity.
Watson has the ball with the no-look pass, which ends up getting stolen in the end. Maybe trying not to be fancy with 3 minutes left in the game when you're down 15. When your season's on the line. Not for me to judge, though, as Gaddafi Honecker passes it out to Micah Moore, who passes it to Ronald Johnson, who passes it out on the other wing to Spencer Hogue, who gives it back to Ronald Johnson, almost gets tipped by Barnes, who's been playing great defense since he's been in the game. But right as I say that, he ends up fouling Ronald Johnson on the floor. That's only Shortridge's second foul of the half, though.
Well, Shortridge is unable to keep these Park Tudor players in front of them. That's how Ronald Johnson and Spencer Hogue have been able to play hot potato this whole half.
Gaddafi Honecker has it, gives it to Ronald Johnson, who had the open three, but is electing not to shoot it. Park Tudor slowing out the pace, but gives it to Tristan in the corner for an easy jumper, and it's good. Looks like they're going with a no-3 policy. Park Tudor back up 17 points with 2:45 left in the game.
Ever since Park Tudor had that no-3 policy, they've been doing a very good job of scoring.
And Watson has it, gives it to Sims down low, and it just goes in between his legs, in and out. Park Tudor ball.
Last game was Tristan Buffkin's first varsity game. He actually had 21 members of his 20 family members come to his first game. He was very ecstatic about the game, and he had actually a timer until the game was about to start.
Well, yes, he played well. Park Tudor did not, though. They played a good 3 quarters, excuse me. The 4th quarter, they did kind of crumble. Some could call it stamina. Others could call it a chemistry issue. Nonetheless, though, Park Tudor looks to pull out this win up 17 with 2:30 left in the game. They're going to be taking it out of bounds after getting tipped by Powell. And Micah has the ball. Gives it to Hogue. Hogue hot potatoes it back to Micah Moore. Gives it to Tristan. Tristan down low to Gaddafi, who gets a backdoor cut to Tristan. Winds up getting fouled. He's going to go to the line for 2 shots.
These two big men of Gaddafi Honecker and Tristan Buffkin both seem to be that they were about to dunk. Neither have dunked in a game this whole season. Tristan, although dominated JV, was unable to dunk that whole time. And Tristan makes the first. Park Tudor up 50-32 with 2:16 left in the game.
Tristan giving handshakes to his imaginary teammates on the line, showing he has a sense of humor this late into the game.
Well, Tristan is a comedian, as the jokesters say. He hits the second one. Park Tudor up 51-32.
And this is a great boost of confidence for Park Tudor coming out of this one, as Powell gives the ball to they're playing really fancy ball, many passes in a row, who gives it, ends up with Dickerson missing a wide open 3 though. But great passes by Shortridge, showing their great chemistry. They just have not been hitting shots tonight though. As Micah has the ball, gives it to Ronald Johnson, who drives it in on 3 defenders and hits the shot. Goes back up by 21, 53-32.
Park Tudor has had great ball movement tonight, even without Isaiah Moore, which that has been the story.
And Watson tries driving it in for the layup, ends up getting a jump ball called as Spencer Hogue plays great defense. It's going to be Park Tudor's ball out as Shortridge going on a full press.
Park Tudor doesn't seem to be moving to break this press right now.
As Ronald Johnson does have it, though. He's alone by himself. Gives it to Gaddafi Honecker, though. And coach calls a timeout, not because he's infuriated, thinks he might lose, because there's only 1:30 left in the game. He's up 21, just because he's infuriated with the way his team is playing during this press.
Well, Shortridge seems to be having a lot more pressure on Park Tudor throughout this whole pressure situation. Shortridge seems to be in desperation mode, realizing that they've lost this game. A lot of hands on heads, and they seem to be having their heads down, not ready to win this game.
And normally I'm opposed to taking timeouts this late in the game, but I think this is a necessity for Park Tudor, pointing out their issues and problems with the press this game and applying it to future games. And I think that's exactly what Park Tudor needed to do. Good call by coach. Normally opposed to it, however.
Park Tudor is most likely to face the winner of Arlington versus Heritage on March 3rd. Hopefully there will be a lot more fans to come out for that game, and Park Tudor needs the fans to support in order to win that game.
And now it's going to be Park Tudor's ball out of bounds with 1:26 left in the game. Park Tudor up by 21 points.
Well, Heritage Christian has a lot more experience in the tournament. Almost all of them are seniors and juniors, which will be interesting to face the young team of Park Tudor.
If they win, however, Arlington always could shock us and end up pulling out the victory, which would be better for Park Tudor, although they have lost to Arlington earlier this year. And Tristan goes up for the bucket, though. Assist by Kadafi Honecker. 55-34. Park Tudor having their biggest lead of the game by 23 points with a minute left in this game. And now it's going to be Powell has the ball. He drives, kicks it out, or tries to Turner at least, who ends up getting stolen by Tristan. And great game by Powell. He really has played a good game as senior, his last game ever for high school. I commend him. Except Kadafi Honecker just overpassing right now, gives it to Barnes. Barnes, instead of letting the ball go out of bounds, tries saving it and ends up getting the ball.
Well, that is
turnover.
Shortridge's 4th straight turnover on a possession, and showing no sign of getting back into this game with 43 seconds left.
Gives it to Spencer Hogue. Hogue gives it to Tristan. Excuse me, I said they were up 23. They are only up 21, 55-34. I can't do math. And that's going to be a pass. Tried an inside pass by Watson. And no good.
Well,
Park Tudor golf season starting pretty soon.
Last year, Nell Sertani carried the team into state. Hopefully they can do the same this year. They have as much depth that they had last year.
Which is a lot of depth on these boys golf team. As that's going to be an and one, though. Great layup by Turner as one of the two members up here on the commentary booth has potential for playing varsity this year on the golf team. Well, that person is me.
Well, Gage, I wish you all the luck because that team is a spectacular Park Tudor team, and I wish you a lot of luck, sir.
That's the nicest way you could have put that, as they hit the and one free throw by Turner, and that's going to be a foul on Barnes. Barnes picks up this 3rd of the game. 16 seconds left. Park Tudor up by 18 points.
Well, Park Tudor has done a spectacular game of shooting and defense, holding them to 37 points.
And Hogue gives it to Ronald Johnson. 8 seconds left. They're not going to shoot anymore. They're just going to hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. Park Tudor wins 55-37.
Park Tudor will be facing Heritage Christian or Indianapolis Arlington at 7:45 on March 2nd. Hopefully we'll see you there. This is Adam Katz and Gage Holly signing off, and thank you for your time.
See you Friday.